I know Michigan fans are probably blindsided with me saying that due to how much I praise y'all this year. But the bottom line is, it's nothing against the Michigan fan base. I love the Michigan fan base. It's just reality. I live in reality. I don't sugarcoat things. Yeah, I hope you enjoy your championship this year, because all that fun, it's over with. Good gosh almighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the college football world, I'm not even going to say it's gone hectic and it's gone haywire. It's past that. I don't even know what to call this. And you know what? The more I think about this, the more I'm starting to believe I brought this upon myself. I told you guys right after the championship ended, it was a heck of a year. Thank you for spending yet again another college football season with me. But stay tuned for the off season, because on our channel at least, and in our community, there is no off season. And yeah, I think I might have spoken that into existence. And I was also heavily understating it, because in these past 3 to 4 days, it's been busier than ever. We got some more breaking news that has came across my desk here, and I'm shocked, okay? I am completely shocked by this, and I didn't expect it. It involves no other than one of my personal favorite quarterbacks in all college football, McCarthy. And I've got a lot to say about this. Also need to throw this in there. This situation involves Blake Corum, and my immediate reaction is, I think Michigan's cooked, and yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. Do want to throw this in there, though. Hope you are staying warm. It is cold, not just in a couple of parts of the country. It is cold everywhere. And also, where I reside in northern Alabama, we have a mega snowstorm that is about to come in a couple of hours, so I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens here. This is going to be a major snow event for northern Alabama. Something like this that only happens about once every 7 to 8 years. And a large portion of our community is from Southeast, and if you're dealing with this, hope you're staying safe, and also hope you're staying off the roads. And I know my people from Michigan, you're probably watching this video laughing like, Matt, come on, man. 3 to 4, 5, 6 inches, that ain't nothing. We're driving in that. We're going to work in that. And yeah, that's up there. Down here, completely different story. And matter of fact, I went to a grocery store last night and I took this picture. You see this? Everybody took all the bread. They left the nasty wheat bread. And I don't blame people for taking all the bread, but it just goes to show the panic mode that people in the Southeast enter when it's being reported that you might get some snow. That is besides the point. We got to talk about this breaking news that McCarthy, he is officially entering the NFL draft. I was certain that he was going to come back next year, and I don't want to say he needs to come back. The only thing I can assume, okay, here's my 2 assumptions. Number 1, he is getting a good NFL scout grade. You know, before these players, they enter the draft, they ask these scouts or whatnot, hey, am I projected to go in the first round, second round, third round, etc.? I assume that they rated him highly, or they told him, yeah, you got a good shot of going in the first round. Number 2, and we got to bring this up, maybe, and this is just a maybe, Jim Harbaugh told him, yeah, I'm going to the NFL and I won't be at Michigan much longer. The relationship that McCarthy and Jim Harbaugh had, it reminded me of a father and a son. They were that close, at least in my humble opinion, and that's an outsider's perspective. They love one another, and I thought for sure they were going to run it back if Jim Harbaugh would come back, and now with McCarthy leaving, I'm thinking that some of these rumors about Jim Harbaugh going to the NFL, they're holding some serious weight. And the only reason I haven't made a Jim Harbaugh video talking about is he going to go to the NFL, is he not going to go to the NFL, is because I've been waiting to see what's going to happen. I don't feel like talking about Jim Harbaugh going to the NFL because it seems like we have this conversation once a summer for the past, 3 to 4 years? His name always gets brought up, but this is the first year where I actually believe there's some legitimacy behind the rumors. And I'll throw this in there as well. I don't know a lot about Michigan. I don't have a lot of sources up there. With that being said, I say that to say this. I have no idea what he's going to do. And we have a big Michigan fan base, by the way. Shout out to all Michigan fans. Let me know in the comment section. What have you heard about Jim Harbaugh? What do you think he's going to do? I know he's won a championship and he's extremely happy there, but you also got to understand he reached the pinnacle. No matter what he does, following this, he can't top what he did in the recent season. He's at the tippy of the top. He won the championship. And some people would argue and say the only reason Jim Harbaugh continued to come back is so he can win that championship, and now he's got it. Well, now there's only one thing to check off on his bucket list or checklist, and that's a Super Bowl. I think Jim Harbaugh wants a Super Bowl, and I think he wants to compete for a Super Bowl, and also, I think he's sick and tired of the NCAA. How have I not brought that up in this whole argument and debate? What am I doing? That's the key reason everybody brings up. Oh yeah, Harbaugh, he's tired of the NCAA, doesn't want to put up with him anymore, and I don't blame him. I'm tired of the NCAA attacking Michigan. And no, I'm not talking about the Michigan manifesto at Connor Stallions. No. I'm talking about before that, where Jim Harbaugh bought a recruited cheeseburger. I'm talking about all the previous stuff. We all know Connor Stallions in Michigan, they got caught cheating. That's just, I'm not getting into that, okay? We've talked plenty about it. I'm just talking about beforehand. They have always been on Jim Harbaugh's case, and it's even annoyed me. And with Michigan not being too involved with the NIL, This is about as good as it's going to get, what happened last year. Also got to throw this in there as well. I guess they planned to do this at the same time. Blake Corum announced he's going to the NFL draft. And I know Michigan fans aren't going to be happy with what I'm about to say next, but it's how I truly feel at this point in time. Michigan's done. They've reached their pinnacle. They're not the new Alabama. They're not the new Georgia. No. They'll never win another championship. This was one of those years where it felt like, hey, it's destiny. I felt it all year long with Michigan, and I was high on them. Why did I have them ranked number 2 all year long behind Georgia, though? Why did I predict them to beat Ohio State? Because of all those seniors and upperclassmen. That was the only thing for Michigan that made up for the lack of quote-unquote talent and the lack of 4- and 5-star recruits. This was a team for Michigan that was together for so long and their chemistry was through the roof. This was a veteran team with a veteran in elite defense, great running back play, and a more than capable game manager quarterback in J.J. McCarthy who is super talented. This was your dream season. This was your dream year. And you're not going to replicate it again. I think J.J. McCarthy understands that, so that may be another reason why he's leaving. And don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying this championship for Michigan was a fluke this year. No, absolutely not. Y'all know how much I praise Michigan all year long. They were the best team in the country this year. It wasn't a fluke to the slightest of bits. And you can hate Michigan all you want for cheating, but they won that title fair and square, and the players on this team had nothing to do with what went on with Connor Stallions. And I gotta say this before I forget. One of the main reasons, too, as to why I was so high on Michigan, is because of J.J. McCarthy. Go back on the channel, it's documented. That's the beauty of YouTube, and all my takes I have, there's facts and documentation to back it up. I remember when McNamara was starting, and I tried telling Michigan fans, and I was sitting up here saying, yeah, you're winning games, but McNamara is not good enough to beat a Georgia, to lead you to a championship. You got to make the switch over to McCarthy. What happened? Jim Harbaugh didn't do it, and we saw what happened. And eventually, he was like, you know what? If I want to win a championship or compete for one, I got to switch over, and he did it. J.J. McCarthy was the perfect, and I mean the perfect and ideal game manager. The difference with McNamara and McCarthy is McCarthy couldn't make the 6 to 7, 8 big-time throws you needed him to make per game when you couldn't run the ball. McCarthy could do that. McCarthy was a dream game manager. It didn't get any better than that. And you're going to have your fair share of people that don't understand the game go up here and say, oh, well, Matt, against Washington, he was 10 for 18. He didn't even do anything. What are you talking about? How are you saying he is a main reason they won a championship this year? Listen up, buddy. It goes back to this. In every single game, he knew what his role was, and he knew what he needed to do, and he executed. He didn't need to do a lot against Washington, so therefore, he didn't try to be a superhero and put on a cape. He just handed the ball off and did his job. And you know what the outcome was? A national championship. He won. Whereas, the game before against Bama, Michigan needed him to make big-time throws. Michigan couldn't run against Bama. And guess what? He delivered. Every single game this year, outside that Maryland one, because he was a little rough there, he delivered. Sometimes he needed to make a lot of throws. Sometimes he didn't. But he did his job. Everybody has a different job and different role for every single game. It depends on who you're playing and how the play style is. And without J.J. McCarthy next year moving forward, I think it's going to be pretty rough for Michigan. And when I say pretty rough, let me clarify, because some of y'all might assume I'm saying they're going to go 5-7. No. I'm talking about they're not going to go 12-0. They'll probably go like, maybe 9-3, 10-2. Michigan without McCarthy is not going to be the same team. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your championship this year, because all that fun, it's over with. Michigan's going to go back to being disappointed year after year, and it's going to be a long time, and I mean a very long time, till you win our championship. I know Michigan fans are probably blindsided with me saying that due to how much I praise y'all this year. But the bottom line is, it's nothing against the Michigan fan base. I love the Michigan fan base. It's just reality. I live in reality. I don't sugarcoat things. I'll say this, though. We'll end off the video on a good note. At least he won a championship, and to me, I think he's a Michigan legend. Let me know your thoughts down below. But